With the Ohio River and the hills of Kentucky just to our right, we welcome you into Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Here now is Cam Little out to get us started.
And we are underway from Cincinnati.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Quickly to the air is Burrow.
Open man is Higgins. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line.
And what a letdown after a huge play. He's going to pull this in and then set sail for the end zone. And he nearly made it too. But he's going to be tracked down just short of the goal line. So a big play there that's going to set him up with first and goal at the 1-yard line.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals.
Chase Brown
taking it in from a yard out.
And the Bengals march right down the field in 3 plays to claim the early advantage.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
At their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line.
Here's Etienne.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback, as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there, because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
Instead of a 3rd and 4, now they have to manage a 3rd and 9 after the delay of game. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here.
Here's Lawrence. He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. he has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there.
2nd down and 4. A shotgun snap and again to ETN.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll send Brown in motion right.
Now Lawrence.
Got him in. It's Brown. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's 2nd down.
Lawrence will throw.
This will be caught once again by Brown.
Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And the top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
And he will have a Jaguars 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Lawrence. Now, a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
I like the call. It looked like the right time to dial up a running back screen. But this one got disrupted right from the start and ends up falling incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10.
In motion, the tight end.
On the counter, ETN.
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown.
Travis Etienne
taking it in from 11 yards out.
And the Jaguars respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own.
That's a great response here in this 1st quarter. And what I like about it is how they put this drive together. The other guy scored quickly to start the game, but this was smart football to not feel like you have to go out and score quickly yourself. So they worked the ball down the field, took their time, and finished with the touchdown run.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their 2nd drive.
A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. An inside give, Brown. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. And the ball is knocked out, and the Jags grab it. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
Now it's Burrow.
This one caught downfield by Higgins.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
T. Higgins.
43 yards. And the Bengals have taken the lead. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? R-A-C?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
They'll start on the ground, ETN. And the defense closes quickly there, and he'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Now Lawrence to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
Here's Lawrence to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one goes for 36 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 down at the 31. They'll send a receiver here in motion right.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars.
De'Ami Brown.
31 yards.
And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
The fly route works for the TD grab.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did, all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
The extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, One guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. Foyesade Oluwakan made the tackle there from his safety position.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
Now Burrow. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete.
Over the middle, that's caught by Chase.
And he gets this only to the 41, not near enough for the first. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt, and it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
At their own 12-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Hunter. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And it'll be 2nd and a couple.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Running out of the gun with ETN.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. Now Lawrence. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Jags 1st down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2.
And I think there defensively, they were so intent on stopping the run that they kind of got caught out of position. This is just a simple pitch and catch for a 1st down.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it.
To the sideline and incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on 1st down, even though he's still in the pocket. He had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who could make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
From the gun, it's Lawrence.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. Again, get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
But to throw again is Lawrence.
He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the 1st half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
So on 4th down, here's Logan Cook to punt for Jacksonville.
Charlie Jones deep for Cincinnati.
It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Bengals set to take over. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. That's complete to the tight end Sample. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow.
Got a man open. It's Chase.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
These two teams all tied after one. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow.
Open man is Yoshivas.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. Here's Burrow. Here's Higgins out of the right side.
And Higgins is going to have a Bengals first down as the tackle made at the 31-yard line.
8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage, when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
From the 23, this is 2nd and 3.
They'll give this up the middle to Burrow. Now the ball comes loose.
Oh, one of the linebackers has got it.
And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
Burrow looking to pass.
Open man is Chase, complete.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's 2nd down. Burrow will throw. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Those are the ones you dream of as defenders. I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Back to throw here.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Bengals are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And that could be one of those turning point plays in a ball game. A field goal gets you the lead here, but they want to make a statement and get 6 points. And they're certainly going to get that opportunity as they get the conversion and set up 1st and goal.
Brown is into the end zone for a Bengal touchdown.
And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And the lead is now 21-14.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Lawrence.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything. And against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25.
ETN up the middle.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
Hunter now will go in motion left. Lawrence will throw.
And that is incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
The Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away.
And looking up into the sun, he's able to make the fair catch inside the 20-yard line.
Ready to go on offense, out come the Bengals.
And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch and turn upfield and pick up the 1st down.
2nd and 7.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And this one is incomplete.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. They're passing here, Joe Burrow.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And Burrow going to throw again. Now a short one to Gesicki. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37. Handing it off to Brown.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
The tight end in motion right. Now it's Burrow.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. They convert on third with a gain of 22.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Well, it hasn't been a banner first half for the defense trying to cover him today, but they'll take that one right there, helping force that incompletion.
To throw again on second down. Burrow. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Well, this drive, they're a perfect 2 of 2 on third down conversions, but they need a full 10 yards here. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that will be incomplete as well.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And now out come the Jags.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
At their own 26. On play action, they'll throw.
That's complete. It's Brian Thomas.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
He's got Thomas yet again, complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
This is what made the West Coast offense a staple around the NFL in the 80s and 90s. You don't have to push the ball deep downfield to come up with big plays, and there's an example of that right there.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2nd and 6. Another tote for Etienne.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
56 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Straight ahead, Etienne.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
2nd down and 6 now. Now Etienne.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now Lawrence. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Jaguars are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
They'll run with ETN.
And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Here's Lawrence.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Brenton Strange.
A 2-yard touchdown grab.
And the Jaguars are an extra point away from evening this one up.
These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
And out now, here come the Bengals. And we are hitting the home stretch here toward halftime. And to this point, this has been an exciting offensive explosion for both sides.
I think everyone in the stadium is going to have to regroup a little bit, including the two of us. Yeah, I think we have to get a little oxygen, relax a little bit, and see what we can get going for the second half, the same as these teams, because right now everything's working really well. Can someone come up with something to slow them down?
Yeah, both defenses back on their heels.
Brought down by Trayvon Walker on the pass rush.
And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
This one complete to Yoshivas.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Tough spot here, 3rd down and 11.
This is Brown going up the middle.
And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed.
Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
The Jags going to go on offense now late in this first half. And with a little under a minute to play, they may be looking to pick up some yardage here, maybe try and come up with a field goal to seize the lead before intermission. Now Lawrence to throw.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
But that's what they have to do more of defensively, not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. Throwing on 2nd and long. Lawrence looking long for Thomas. That's caught inside the 20. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, this from 34. And his kick here is good. And with it, they'll take the lead at 24-21.
Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
4 seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
Now the Bengal offense going to see the ball one more time in this first half. And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just one snap of the football.
Final play of the half for Burrow and company. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Jaguars ready to get going to start quarter number 3.
They have played so strongly. You look at the scoreboard, you probably, with the way they played, you would think the margin would be a lot bigger, right?
You would. And in your experience, how many times have we run into coaches where they've talked about, hey, we just want to put it in the hands of our defense and have them win the game? In this case,
yeah, not the case.
Not at all. You want to put it in the hands of your offense, but you always feel better about saying defense because you think defense is a constant and offense kind of comes and goes. Today, this game, no, they need their offense to stay on a really hot level.
They've been hot so far.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, Kai just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there.
Third and 3. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Jaguars first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now Lawrence.
Flush to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Jermaine Pratt fighting in and dropping him for the loss.
And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. Trey Hendrickson in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10.
Right at the 30. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
But plain and simple, that's the 2nd time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's going to have to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
Shotgun handoff to Brown here. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow.
And that almost intercepted. Oh, they would have loved to have their first pick of the game right there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
Jacksonville set to go again offensively.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Vanderbilt's own Oren Burks had the tackle defensively.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room that if you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage.
Lawrence.
To the right side and complete to Thomas. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
Off the play fake, here's Lawrence. That's caught by Munn.
2 yards on the pickup there, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Here's Lawrence to throw. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
But to throw again is Lawrence. That is caught and out across midfield down to the 45. A big one there on third down. They hit for 30 yards.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
And some room to work. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 95 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
On first down, right back to Etienne.
He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
2nd and 6 from the 10. And they'll go again with Etienne.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. 1st and goal.
Etienne diving for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Bengals offense returns to the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he has got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well, great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Open man is Yoshivas.
Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. This pass complete to Higgins. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
I can't help but chuckle a little bit because at this point, it can't be a surprise to anyone in the building who's going to get the ball. They just keep feeding him over and over, and he just keeps on delivering.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Now a short one to Gesicki. Heck of a broken tackle, but only able to work this down near the 23.
From the 24 now, here's 2nd and 9.
To the air again, Burrow. Open man is Higgins. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 15-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And that one complete once again to Higgins.
So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Option play. Here's a give to Brown.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow to the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Burrow will throw. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Mike Gesicki from 3 yards out.
And the Bengals are able to get a score back in the final stages of this 3rd quarter.
And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And the lead is down to a field goal.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30.
Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over.
Still enjoying the lead here in the 3rd quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. Play action. It's Lawrence.
He's going deep for Brown. That's caught at the 25. It's a big play for the Jaguars. And even 50 yards. So both teams trade touchdowns in the third as we're through 3 quarters of play.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Back now in Cincinnati. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter.
Lawrence will throw. A quick throw there is incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Throwing again on 2nd and 10.
Lawrence.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. They'll send a tight end in motion right.
Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Going for it, here's Etienne.
And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well. This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Etienne once more.
And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. Well, they've converted 7 times and could use another right now. This is 3rd and 4. And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
A CD, a little bit of feast or famine for him. He's had some success throwing the football, but also now he's been sacked 4 times.
Yeah, you just mentioned the 4 sacks, but you're right. He has managed to hang in there and make plays at times. His offensive line, they've got to figure it out and pick things up and give him more opportunities, and he has to help them by getting rid of the ball a little bit quicker as well.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away.
And able to get this out to the 25.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, well,
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
Brought to the ground by the linebacker, Foye Oluokun.
One of the league's best linebackers. He ended that play almost before it began, and the running back absolutely overmatched no matter what he tried to do.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now it's Burrow. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. This is Brown on the draw play. And they'll get him down here at the 23. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to the 1st down.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
On the counter, ETN.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see.
And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10.
Cincinnati set to take over once again. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
Now it's Burrow.
That's complete. Once again, it's Gesicki.
They go play action with Burrow.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. 1st down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
Well, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a 1st down for them, too.
Now Burrow.
Out of his hands quickly to Higgins.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Here's Burrow.
Open man is Chase, complete.
This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
And Burrow going to throw again. Over the middle, he's got Gesicki, the big 6'5" tight end. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
Burrow looking to pass. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5.
Here's a 2nd and 5.
Burrow now off the bootleg. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
At their own 21.
Now ETN to start the drive. And a short pickup to about the 25.
Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
He completes it to Hunter. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Here's Lawrence to throw. That's caught by Munt. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Now the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Now Lawrence to throw.
And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole.
On 3rd down, here's ETN.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on for the 5th time here today. A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. So Burrow and the Bengals
down by 6. A little under a minute 50 remaining. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down.
Burrow.
This will be caught by Brown. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Here's Burrow. Open man is Yoshibas.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with a minute 6 left to go in the game.
Just the 1 timeout remaining as they try to navigate this 2-minute drill. 1st and 10. Pass complete to Higgins.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Burrow.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Throwing, Burrow.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Partner, they've got 1 chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock.
This offense cannot stop the clock now. No timeouts remaining as they come up here 1st down. To throw, Burrow.
Pass incomplete.
And let's face it, this defense has had its share of struggles all game long, and they know that they can put it all behind them if they defend well here in the 2-minute drill. Excellent coverage right there to force the incompletion.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Now Burrow.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down.
What a game we were treated to in this one. And on that final play, they had a chance. They had the ball just beyond midfield for one final shot, but couldn't get it done, and they suffered the loss.
Yeah, and you mentioned how they had a chance on that final play, and getting it to midfield gave them that opportunity, hoping they could find their way to the end zone and make that miracle happen. A really good ending to an entertaining contest, though.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Cincinnati.
Down like